Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how you can create this fully working lead scraper agent using this app on Apify's website. And the agent's going to be sending all the data to this lead spreadsheet that I created in Google Sheets. So let's give it a quick demo. We're going to hit execute and we have to fill in this form. We'll just fill in a couple of these. So you fill in the form now, it's going to hit submit, and now we can just wait for our workflow to run. So now as you can see, our workflow is fully finished, and if we switch to Google Sheets, we have all of our leads here, straight from our agent. So without further ado, let's just get straight into how you guys can build this right now. So the first thing we're going to do once we're inside of n8n is we're going to add a form trigger node here. And now we can just add a quick title that says lead scraper and a description that will just say fill out this form to scrape leads. And I'm also just going to add a few fields right now. So I'll just finish adding all the fields, and you can pause the video and copy these if you like. And so now that we've finished filling in our form, if we just hit execute now, our form will pop up and we can just quickly fill this in. So I'm just going to fill in a couple of these. Industry, I'll just say real estate. Location, United Kingdom, and we'll just say 5. And we'll hit submit after that. And now if we just open up our form, we have our output data over here from all the inputs that we selected. And what's good about this data here is that we can now use these strings to set up our nodes that we're about to add now. So we'll just close out this. And the first node we're going to add is the AI agent. So we're going to go AI and an AI agent. So now we're just going to change our prompt source to define below. Make sure expression is selected here. And now we're just going to paste our prompt in here. And if you guys want access to this prompt, it's going to be in my free community, and the link to join that will be in the description below, so feel free to check that out. And one quick thing we need to change is if we just scroll down a bit to our industry, we're just going to drag in the industry string here from our node before, our form node. Now we're just going to add our chat model, so we'll hit here, this plus icon, and we will select OpenRouter chat model here. And if you haven't set up credentials of OpenRouter, you just want to click here, go create new credential. Want to go to the OpenRouter website, make sure that you're logged in, go to get API key, create API key, just give it a random name, and then we get our key here. Also, don't forget to top up your account before you start using it. So now that we've added our model, we can just open up the AI agent now, hit execute, and here we're given our output that we can use in our next nodes. But because this output's a bit messy and unreadable, we're going to clean it up a bit. So we're going to hit first require specific output format. Then we're just going to minimize out this. Next, we're going to select output parser, and we're going to do the structured output parser. And now we're just going to select this JSON here. We're going to paste in our own JSON right there, which will also be in my community if you guys want access to it. Now, if we open up our AI agent again, and we hit execute again, we now have our structured output, which is a lot more easier to read. For the next part of our workflow, we're going to be configuring the scraping engine, and the platform we're going to be using to do this is called Apify. And Apify is just a large marketplace that has all of these different apps called actors, which just act as scrapers to scrape information or data from websites. So once you're logged in and you're inside the dashboard, the actor we're going to be using is called Leads Finder. So it's going to search that up, and it is this one right here by Code Pioneer. And this app is going to allow us to scrape 1,000 leads for only $1.5, which is really cheap. So now that we found our app, we're going to go back into n8n. We're going to add a new node, and we're going to search for Apify. And if Apify doesn't come up for you, you just need to install it. And then we just want to select run an actor. And the first thing we need to do is we need to configure our API. So we're just going to do select credential, create new credential. And you see here that we need an API key. So to get our key, we're just going to switch back over to Apify. I'm just going to open this sidebar. We're going to go to settings, and then API integrations, and your keys right here. So we can go ahead and copy this. We can go back into n8n, paste it in, save, and our credential is now connected. And now the next thing we need to do is we need to select our actor. So we're going to select here from where it says from list, change it to by ID. We're going to go back over to Apify, and make sure on the Leads Finder page, you just want to go up to the top URL bar and select this ID right here. Now we can go back into n8n and we can just paste it right there. And so now we're just going to go down to input JSON here, change this to expression. We're just going to pop this out and we're going to paste in this JSON code right here. And this code will be also available in my community if you guys want access to it. And now we can go ahead and execute and we should receive back some useful information. So we now have our data back and our status is set as succeeded, and we now have our ID here that we can use to find our leads. So now we're going to add another node. We're just going to search Apify again, but this time we're going to select get run. For our run ID, we're just going to select by ID, and we're going to drag in our ID here from our previous node. And if we now just hit execute step, just wait, our status should say as succeeded, meaning that the process should be finished. Because we don't get our results straight away back from Apify, as every time we run our workflow, we will need to add a if node so that if it fails and the process hasn't finished, then it will loop back to our workflow. So we're going to set our status here for value 1, and we're going to make it so that only carry on running the workflow if it's succeeded. So we'll put succeeded here. And just to test it, if we just hit execute here, our branch is true because our status is set as succeeded. And now if Apify hasn't yet finished our process, we need to configure that. So we'll go to our false branch here, and every time it fails or hasn't finished, we will wait 5 seconds. So we'll add a wait node and we'll leave the amount on 5 seconds. And we're just going to hook this back up to our get node. So now you can see here our results finished, but now we need to get back our results. So we're going to hit plus here. We're going to search Apify again, but this time we're going to scroll down to dataset actions and we're going to select get dataset items. Now for our dataset ID, we're just going to go over to here. We'll just close this. We'll go to run actor, scroll down to default dataset ID. We're just going to drag this in here. And if we now just go ahead and hit execute step, just wait. And if ran successfully, we should receive our lead information over here from the person that we've scraped, including all the information. You've got a name, email address, personal info, company info, LinkedIn, everything should be here. And now just to confirm that our results are coming back, we're going to go ahead and add another if node. We're going to paste in this string, which just gets all the data set information from our Apify node, and we're going to set it to object exists, and then we're just going to hit run. And you can hear that it's all true. And the reason why we've added a second if node is because there's a possibility that when we run this app that we don't receive any results back. So we're just confirming that we've received the results. In this case we have, because the branch is set to true for 5 items. And now the next node we're going to add is our loop over items node, which is just going to loop over the individual items from our data set through the workflow. And so the first item we're going to check for is that if our leads have an email. So we're going to hit the plus icon here. We're going to hit if, and we're going to say email exists and hit run. So now it will confirm whether our leads have an email or not. And if the email is missing, we're just going to loop back over to the next item. And now the next thing we're going to check for is if our lead has a website. So we're going to hit plus again here, open another if node, and we're going to go to our company website here, drag this in, and we're going to say again if the string exists. And then we're just going to hit execute again, and it's true. And again, like before, if our website's missing, we're just going to loop again to the next item. And if there is a website, we're just going to add a HTTP request right here. And inside our request, we're going to leave the method on get, and we're just going to drag in our company website here into the URL section. And we're just going to go ahead and hit execute. And here we've received some HTML code, which is quite difficult to read for our agents, so we're just going to clean it up a bit. So we're going to go ahead and add another node right here, search up code, and we're going to select code in JavaScript. And now we're just going to go ahead and paste in this JavaScript code, which will also be available in my community. And then we're just going to go ahead and hit execute. And now over here, we have a full website summary of all the content on the website. And the next thing we can do with this content is that we can create an icebreaker line with an AI agent. So we're just going to go ahead down here, add another node, and we're going to add an AI agent. So we're just going to change our prompt source to define below. We're going to make sure this is on expression. And now we're just going to paste in our prompt. right here. And now we just need to give our AI agent a chat model, so we're just going to add that now. Let's type up open row. And because our credentials are already set up, we don't need to do that again, so we'll just leave it on GPT 4.1 mini for now. Inside our AI agent, we're also going to select require specific output format. And now we need to add our output parser. We're going to select this button here. We're going to select structured output parser, and we're just going to paste in our JSON right there. Now if we just open up our AI agent and give it a quick run, we now have our personalized icebreaker using all the information that we script. And now we've pretty much finished the whole workflow. All that's left to do is to send all this information to Sheets. So we just want to go down here, add another node, search up Sheets, and you want to select append row and sheet. You also just want to make sure your credentials are set up, and then after that we want to change from list for our document to by URL, and we're going to be copying the link from this spreadsheet here. So we're going to copy it. We're going to go back to our n8n, and we're just going to paste in the link right there. And now from our sheet list, we just want to select leads here. And now it's giving us access to all the fields from our table. As you can see here, all these headers, they're all here. So now we just need to drag in information. So we'll just open this loop of items, and we can start dragging in these. So where it says here first name, we drag into first name. Last name, drag into last name, and then I'll just fill all these out. So we filled in all these fields here, and for our last one, which is our icebreaker line, this comes from a different node, which is our AI agent. We're just going to drag in this icebreaker line string here. And also just remember to always have expression turned on for all of these and not fixed. And so if we just switch to our sheets, you can see that right now it's empty with no data. If we go back into n8n and we hit execute, we just wait. We can now see that our output is finished, as you can see here. And if we switch to our sheets, all of our information is now inside the sheet, directly from n8n. So now we have our fully completed lead scraper workflow using Apify inside of n8n. And if you guys found this tutorial useful or you learned something, please give it a like so that I can help more people like you. And all of my resources from this video will be available in this free school community of mine, which is completely free to join and anyone can join, where we'll have all these templates and videos and content for you guys to access. So that's all for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.